All right, hey everybody! I wanted to bring this commentary video to you because something's been a trend has been happening over the last little while that I wanted to share with you because I think it'll have a little bit of value in it. And I'm going to call this one, "Hey Coach, are you really 57 years old?" Because I've been getting that question a lot lately, and or similar comments like that, and I think it's worth talking about in terms of the value of a fitness and healthy lifestyle, especially when you get to Platinum Club membership age. This is a Physique After 50 perspective. And now I've been getting this question, are you really 57 years old, in various forms many times recently, and I'm going to give you a few examples. And of course it's flattering, that's not why I'm giving you the examples. People are always telling me how good I look in terms of meeting me, finding out how old I am, of course. And I always joke, well, if you can't be good looking, you might as well look good. But I think a sense of humor about these things and about aging is also important. And before I explain how and why maybe I look exceptional for my age, I'm sure there's a lot other people out there who look as good or better than I do. There's a few scenarios from the past that I just want to give you a few examples. So make no mistake here, I don't claim to have the body of a Greek god or anything like that. It's not something I'm aiming for or anything like that anymore. I just love working out. I have all the usual skin markings of someone my age, wrinkles, you know. I joke sometimes that I look part Shar-Pei because I can pull skin out where muscle used to be. So I don't want to be overly pretentious about that, but I do want to give good examples that have actually happened where it shows that people are actually noticing, you know, an impression left on them that I look good for my age. So while on my annual vacation in Aruba, for instance, in May, I was recognized on the beach more than once, several times actually, whether in town or on the beach. And people who knew me from my hardcore bodybuilding days when I was in full bloom and taking steroid stacks and everything, they still recognize me on the beach by my physique, and that was quite flattering. One fellow said, "Oh my God, that's Scott Abel." Another comment I got was from a 50-plus-year-old man who works out and said, "I see this guy walking down the beach," and I said to my wife, "Look at that guy. He looks obviously older than I am, and he looks better." And he ended up striking up a conversation with me. And then another man about my age stopped us on the beach one day and jokingly said, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you a question? How can I look like you without working out and without watching what I eat?" And then he smiled and laughed and said, "Just kidding." He said, "I just wanted to shake your hand. You look fantastic." And those kind of stories. And then recently, I was walking through the neighborhood. I live in a gated community, and a neighbor stopped me and said, "Have you lost weight? You look amazing. Like, what are you doing?" kind of thing. And then just this week, and that's because it's summer out, so you're wearing t-shirts and tank tops. And then just a few weeks ago in the gym, one of the regulars said, "Someone told me you're about to turn 57 years old. Is that true?" And so it goes. I was out for a birthday meal with Andy to celebrate my birthday. And I asked the waiter who was waiting on us to guess how old I was, and he guessed 43 or 44. So I realized he works on tips. But when I said I was 57, he was quite incredulous. And so it goes, and I'm just giving you the examples, not to pound on my chest or to blow up my own head or anything like that. I just offer you the examples of social proof of expertise and the value illustrates of taking care of oneself and taking care to take care of oneself and of your lifestyle that allows it all to happen. I could say this all boils down to the Hard Gainer Solution program or my Physique After 50 program and my diet strategy, of course, but there's a lot more to it as well. So what is it and how is it? How do you glow when you're starting to push 60 years old? And I'm going to give you a couple other examples as well. Recently, I had occasion, someone was asking me a question in email, so I ended up having to check something out, and I wound up looking at some experts who were my age in the fitness industry. There was some conference or whatever coming up, and I recognized one of the names, so I clicked on it, and then it showed some of the other names appearing at this conference, And it was ironic to me because everyone my age and older looked overweight. They had pot bellies. They didn't necessarily look good. And I realized they weren't lecturing specifically on fitness or about fitness, but within the fitness umbrella, absolutely, for sure. So I thought, wow, why would anyone want to listen to people who have trouble walking their talk? Yet conversely, I was recently on a site where there was a conference for plant-based nutritional experts, and every single one of them speaking looked lean and healthy. So they weren't even speaking in the fitness industry or about the fitness industry, and they all looked top-notch, younger for their age, youthful, vibrant, and yet within the fitness industry, when I looked at experts my age who were speaking at a conference, they all looked overweight and not necessarily healthy, and more of a, used to be an expert riding the wave of the past. I don't want to get into that too much, but I just want to use those examples because they're striking to me. But how are you really turning 57? Well, here's a lesson for everyone. What are the 3 things I wanted to boil down to how I'm able to look this way? And I think I can put it down and boil it down to 3 specific things: consistency, efficiency, and expertise. So consistency, my clients and all my followers hear me drone on all the time, and you're probably all familiar with my mantra: the process is the goal, and the goal is the process. And I live by that mantra. I like to walk my talk, but I also live a life of no excuses. I'm consistent with no exceptions with my application of training and my compliance to my cycle diet strategy. So I don't rationalize non-compliance. I don't make excuses. I just don't have exceptions because I feel I have to role model and walk my talk. So from years and years ago, I internalized and embraced the notion as a big C coach, I damn well better walk my talk. Show people by example, don't just lecture at them. So I think that's important. So consistency is a major factor for me, as it should be for all of you. And my consistency expands out to more general elements that a lot of people don't consider: regular sleep and wake times, and a life of regimentation and routine, as in regular meal times, regular days to run errands, whatever. So that may sound boring, but it eliminates excuses, and it is amazingly efficient. And that brings me to my next point: efficiency. Like I said, how can I be this way at 57? Consistency, efficiency, and expertise. So point number 2 is efficiency. And after that, I have to say, boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, with an exclamation point. My physique looks top notch because I know what I'm doing in the gym and at the dinner table. I have 4+ decades of experience at the very top of the physique development and physique transformation game. I'm efficient in the gym in ways other people can't even begin to understand, even as they witness it. For instance, people used to see Andy and I in the gym at the same time and not make a connection that we both look different, comparatively speaking, for our age, different than everyone else who goes to the gym. And they'll ask us questions, but they won't make the connection of actually paying attention, observing with their own eyes the differences of nuance that they're seeing or not seeing between what we're doing. So I'm extremely efficient, but you don't understand nuance if it's not part of your operating system in the industry you work in. For instance, I wouldn't understand one nuance to another of someone who's, say, looking after my financial books, or someone who's the mechanic for my car. Whereas other mechanics and other people who are experts in that area would recognize nuance when they see it. Most trainees in the gym who aren't experts, they don't recognize it. So they don't even know efficiency when they see it. But in the gyms I go to, in the gyms I travel to, I see about 95% of trainees wasting their time and being really inefficient in what they are doing, even with a trainer's guidance. Some trainees and trainers who look good in spite of what they're doing, and not because of what they're doing, and not because they know what they're doing. So when they get to be my age, that discrepancy is going to show up. So expertise is not to be underestimated, but it always is. I spend minimum time and effort doing gym stuff, and I reap the maximum benefits of that, and that's why I can write books and do webinars and produce products, etc., etc. Minimum time and maximum benefit is the very definition of efficiency. Boom, consistency, efficiency. And let's get straight here. One of the main points I want to get across in terms of going to the gym, I don't do workouts, I follow programs. Okay, and that's another big leap in maturity in terms of taking care of your body. And that reality of not doing workouts but following programs, that reality is lost on 90% of more of gym goers and their trainers. A lot of trainers, when they heard me say that, have gone out and bought my program design masterclass just to learn how to design programs and or use the programs that are in that course. So maybe we can put program design masterclass link up here on the screen for you as well. But I am efficient in exercise technique, exercise programming, efficient in consistent application of my own expertise. Can you imagine how far ahead of the pack that puts me when comparing me to other people my age? But people just don't get that. So the inevitable question is, how can you be 57 years old? And they think it's genetics, or they think it's this, or it's think of that. But imagine the little differences that add up to a staircase effect that put me at the top of the mountain, so to speak, from climbing those stairs with nuance, with knowledge and expertise and technique and application, the consistency and the efficiency that keep reinforcing each other. I see trainees at my age at the gyms making all the classic mistakes that have been around for decades, training their egos, doing workouts instead of programs, following Vogue fitness trends because their trainer tells them to, warming up on cardio equipment, or doing junk volume cardio for no reason at the end of their workouts, or believing in magic exercises or magic tools like kettlebells or TRX or whatever, and things like that, or the rings or straps or whatever. When you eliminate all these inefficiencies, true efficiency is what is left. And that's what most of my mentoring students get. That's what I get. That's what Andy gets. And that's very important. So 3 elements that allow me to be top notch and impress people at age 57 are, like I said, consistency, efficiency, and expertise. And I will add to that, part of that expertise has been breaking vegan for sure. Now, as consistent and efficient as I have been in the fitness lifestyle in terms of exercise, I have to say my more recent change to a 6-day vegan diet has had many pronounced positive cosmetic effects that are really easily witnessed. I just look better. I recently had to renew my driver's license because my birthday, etc. And when they showed me the picture I took for it and compared it to the previous one, I couldn't believe myself how healthy and vibrant and lean my face looked, especially compared to that previous driver's license picture of me. And I was healthy back then and lean back then. So the other thing there is I'm eating a lot more than before, but I am noticeably leaner. I'm way more vascular. My stomach is flatter. I'm going to tell this one in either a blog or a different video, but for the first time since I retired from bodybuilding way back in 2004, 2005, I now have to buy new belts. My belts are now way too big for me, and new pant size as well, even though since breaking vegan, I'm eating more as well. So my metabolism is back. Boom. And my refeed days, cheat weeks show me that my metabolism is re-optimized to a level I haven't experienced since my late 30s when I was taking different kinds of drugs and clenbuterol and things that upped all of the ante in terms of being able to refeed at a higher level. I'm back to that without all of the repercussions and consequences of using pharmaceuticals. So just switching to a vegan diet has had a pronounced effect on youthfulness at my age. So if you are over 50 and looking for some kind of fountain of youth, then go vegan, baby. That's what I can say about that. And look at all the vegan experts, and I mean real experts, academic, peer-reviewed, plant-based researchers online. Pay less attention to the social media noise. Look up the actual experts, and you're going to see people who are young and vibrant at age 50, 60, 70, some even 80. So I speak for myself. My skin is clear, although, like I said, still wrinkly and reflective of someone my age. But that's fine, and that's fine with me. All around me, I can't tell you, on the flip side of the equation, how many people I see my age, younger than me, that are overweight, unhealthy, infirm people on a bunch of meds, things that are easily curable by a lifestyle. So if you don't know the answers, then why not follow and get led by someone who practices consistency, efficiency, and expertise? Why are people my age and just younger so overly burdened with weight, with diet issues, with medical issues as a result of that? Most people, a lot of people, just don't want to do anything about their lifestyle other than get prescriptions for conditions they have that they think they're just consigned to live with for the rest of their life. Blood pressure meds, cholesterol meds, whatever, all these things. But really, this is just a matter of perspective. So, and that's very important. And my perspective is to be healthy, wealthy, and wise to the best of my ability to do so. And that means not obsessing about weight, not obsessing about food, not obsessing about exercise, but loving all these things, which is a completely different notion than is obsession. So that's important as well. So people ask me, how can I look good, this good at age 57? The answer is consistency, efficiency, and expertise. And now I've also had other well-respected fitness industry experts about my age write me recently privately to ask for my help, to help them lose weight, to help them train around some issues they're having. Of course, they don't want anyone to know, so they want me to keep it private, and that's fine. I won't release any names, but a few of them need to lose a lot of weight. Some of them have recently lost weight and are starting to gain it back. But I'm always perplexed as to how a true expert and someone who advertises themselves as such could allow themselves to get this far overweight to begin with if you're supposed to be living by example and all. Remember, show people the change you want them to know. Show it to them. Don't lecture at them. So I think it's a big difference by living by example and being the role model, showing people that you live by words and that your words that you live by actually have proof to them. So I realize one major difference between myself and these other fitness industry experts that are my age, who are starting to show the effects of age with pot bellies and looking old and, that kind of thing. I think one of the benefits I have over others is my decades spent in the hardcore competition bodybuilding world at the very top led me to become an expert in nutrition and in metabolism specifically, and by experience, not just by studying it in books, because I was known as the trainer of champions because my people won shows, and they won a lot of shows. So you didn't get to the top of that mountain by just studying. You had to pay attention to what was working, what wasn't working, what was in the literature, what wasn't in the literature, and all these things. So many of these other fitness experts and strength experts, they didn't come from that background with the same decades of frontline experience dealing with physique transformation on a wide scale and on an intense scale where you have to dial people into contest-ready physique preparedness by the thousands, or learning to be experienced expert in metabolism and how their bodies are going to react to certain changes in macronutrient intake, etc. And that's really, really important as well. So the answer, how can I look as good as I do at age 57? Keeping in mind that's relative. There's a lot of people who look a lot better than me. I'm not lucky or genetically blessed or physique obsessed or diet obsessed or any of these other excuses I hear from other people about how I can look the way I do at age 57, but I am a realist. I embrace the fitness lifestyle, the healthy lifestyle, because I want and I expect both an increased quality of my remaining years and an increased quantity of those years as well. There is research showing that hardcore bodybuilders are starting to die younger than expected. I'm sure that research, there's going to be more research about that in the future. I'll get that at in another video. But taking care of my body so my body can take care of me is not an added chore or an obligation. It's a choice for me. It's an empowerment for me. So like I always say, the common, very well-known quote, you make time for wellness or you will surely have to make time for illness. And this maximum rings true for anyone over the age of 50 when your body just starts becoming different, and a lot of those differences are negatively impacted from changes in physiology and biology. So how I look the way I do at age 57, well, the breakdown answer that you can learn from and that you can benefit from is consistency, efficiency, and expertise, and a very sustainable diet strategy. This is the Platinum Club. This isn't Golden Years. This is Platinum Club, and membership has its privileges. Boom! Age 57, and let's continue rocking it all, and I will see you all in the next video, and thank you for your time.